you've heard of it. You certainly saw the commercial where we were showing you how TouchCover interacts. When I talk about seamless transitions that the Surface team focused on, so people who buy it can use it, this is where it really comes to life. Of course, Surface is an amazing tablet. You can watch videos on your ClearType display. You can listen to music, stream it live from Xbox. You can play games right out of the Windows Store. But what else you can do is get stuff done. So important. When we talk about extending, when we talk about extending Windows, when we talk about it, we also talk about extending Office, and we're going to talk about it in just a minute. Really important aspect. But first, let's talk about this. We'll talk about TouchCover. TouchCover itself was designed at 3 millimeters thick. This was really important for this principle. We knew everyone needed a cover for their device. We knew they needed an awesome cover. We didn't want to ship a clunky cover. Cover's pretty important. You put it in your bag, you want your cover to stay on. The other thing we wanted to do, just like the kickstand, was to give anyone who used it a great visceral feeling. So when we designed the connection to this, we designed it for sound. We designed it for confidence. We built a flux fountain of magnets, and I say flux fountain because I'm the first person to say it on stage today. So Steven usually does, but I beat him to it, okay? The flux fountain of magnets in here, which essentially is a couple of clamping magnets and one alignment magnet on each side of the device, where you're able to pull these things together, but then guess what? I can stop and boom, click. It just clicks in. That confidence you get, you can never miss. I don't really have to look. It'll just click in every time. And it'll give you that confidence that once you put it in, you can go get anything done. And guess what? You can. Check out how sturdy it is when I just hold it like this right from its bottom. Yeah, that was important. I talked about in the past how we built this and we designed it and we wrote a spec, and here's the spec. It's got to be super thin because people need to use it as a cover. It's got to feel like a book because we want it to be organic. It's like something you've always touched, something you've always held. If you're a student, you put it under your hand, under your fingers. It feels like the spine of a book. When you open it, it feels like you've opened a book. And when you open a book, you can read. And when you're on Surface, you're just connected. And it's just a great story and feels great. And of course, it'll never come apart. It won't. And when you want it to come apart, the spec is written simple. Hey, if a 5-year-old can pull it apart, it's a great story. Now, how do you do that and still balance the strength of what I'm showing you on TouchCover itself, which is just an amazing story? This is TouchCover. Welcome to TouchCover. I'm going to show you what it's used for right now. Now, before you turn on, I'm going to say one more thing. Now, when we started this demo, we talked about a few things. And we said, look, we're going to show everybody Surface, and we're going to say, you buy Surface because not only is it a great tablet, but it does everything you want your laptop to do. In other words, you get stuff done, the stuff you want to get done, and still have the fun you want to have. We believe that. We know that. Here's how I know. Check this out. In the back of the room, go ahead and look back. Don, are you back there? He's standing up. See Don waving? Don actually right now is using Excel as a call sheet for this audience right now. We're running this entire show off of Don's call sheet, running Excel on Surface. Check it out. He's using Surface. In the back, this entire projection and all the lighting is controlled by one device right now. All of it. It's running PowerPoint right here on this screen, and it's doing wireless signals to dim the lights. I asked for the controls so I can show that off, but they said no way. They're not giving up their devices. But this is an important thing to understand. We're running Excel and PowerPoint right now. Let me make the Uber point. When you purchase Surface, of course you get Office with it. You get Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and OneNote. I'm showing you Excel. I'm running PowerPoint. Let me show you some OneNote stuff. Come over here with me. We'll just bring up this camera. Now check this out. I'm going to bring a couple of things together for you, and I'm going to do two things at the same time just so you all can see it, okay? Check this out. I'm opening OneNote, and in OneNote I'm going to type. Now, a lot of people have asked, well, do you use TouchCover? What happens? Look, when we designed TouchCover, we knew we had to take this. You see these? This is your traditional wired mouse and keyboard. We had to create this. They look very different, but guess what? They work the same. Careful, I don't want to hit you. There you go. 3 millimeters thin, has a trackpad, has a pressure-sensing keyboard. The reason you need a pressure-sensing keyboard and not some capacitive thing is so I can set all my hands down just for you. Put my hands down, and here I am. No keys striking because I'm choosing not to type yet. Why is this important? It's important because if you need to find your home position, and it'll take you 4 or 5 days to get really comfortable, there's a slight curve. But once you get comfortable with touch cover, you will be typing. Now, I type about 64 words per minute. Now, it's really kind of nerve-wracking to type and talk at the same time. But I'll just say what now, you can see me typing pretty quick. Now, that's pretty good, right? I'm here typing and talking to you, and you can see I use touch cover every day. I can't really see anyone using touch cover without Surface. There's a bunch of reasons for that, and I'm going to show you in just a second one more time. But take a look. My hands are down and typing. But I'm going to show you what I meant to say just a couple of minutes ago, and I'm going to show you now. So when I say I was going to do 2 things at once, check this out. Now, this is rude. It's pointing at me. But I'm going to take that same camera and point it at you. Do you see on the left, I've opened the camera app. I'm going to do nothing more than touch the screen so it's recording. Now, check this out. Yeah, wave your hands. Cool. Wave your hands so you know it's recording. That'd be really helpful for me to just show this to you. Now, I can type, of course, while I'm recording. What is this? Why does it matter? Because I've angled the product exactly at 22 degrees, so you guys have Surface. So we are using Surface this way. And the camera is angled up. I can capture the entire room. If I'm a student in a lecture, I can capture my moment as my professor is speaking and I'm taking my notes. Right now, I'm recording and taking notes at the same time. If I'm in a meeting, which I do often, I open Surface and I just record across the table, and all of you can, and I can see what I'm recorded, and I can go refer back to my notes, and I learn so much more. Now check this out. I'm pausing the video. Now this is Windows coming to life through Surface, exactly what we talked about. We really wanted to bring Windows and make Surface a stage for it. Well, check it out. This is multitasking on Windows real time. If I just open up the camera, that's you. I'm just going to go back to where I was, and I'm going to play this video. Now you'll know it's real because you guys are all waving your hands. You're not waving them now. Look, it's not like a trick. Now I'm recording it. Everybody's waving. I can watch my video, but look how easy this is. I'm just going to touch one note, which is over here still as I'm multitasking. Boom. Check it out. I'm still watching my video, and my notes are back, and I can read them and learn at the same time. Pretty cool, right? Now, the thing with touch cover, which I want to explain, I said I never want to take touch cover off, and I really don't, and here's the reason. Touch cover is smart enough that when I fold it back, it just turns off. This product was designed so when you do fold it back, it feels great in your hands. This is a mode that was so important. But then my kids, when they're watching a movie and touch cover's on like this and they're holding it, but they want to set it down and the kickstand now can't come out, what do? Do you fold the keyboard forward and go to produce something? Well, it doesn't even have to be that complicated. Check it out. I'll sit here for you and just show you. This is what my kids do at home. They just kick out the kickstand and they put it right there on touch cover. And they just sit and watch and play and do all the things they want to do comfortably. As a matter of fact, when I'm cooking on my countertop and just a hobby where we sit there and cook, I open my cookbook app right out of the Windows Store and I start using that, just setting it down and doing recipes, which is just pretty cool. And then when you want those seamless transitions, they just happen just like that. Now, that was cool. Thank you. I like whistling. Okay, I'm going to introduce you to somebody. We're pretty lucky today. We have Annie Wang with us. Annie Wang's a recent Harvard student. Is that right?
Yep.
Do you want to just introduce yourself?
Sure. So I'm the co-founder of hercampus.com, which is the #1 online community for college women.
Cool. And what are you doing here today? Can you just tell us?
Yeah. So I'm actually writing a blog post for Her Campus using Word on this whole experience and how Surface is going to be a great device for college students.
I love that. How long have you had your Surface? I'm just curious.
For about 4 days.
4 days. So Annie's had her Surface for 4 days. How do you like it?
I love it.
Awesome. I love it too. Come with me. I want to show you something.
Awesome.
Come on, you guys. Annie, please. So, if you don't mind, if you set it down here, which would be super cool, and we'll just take a look at what Annie's working on. Annie, do you want to show us?
Yeah. So I'm writing this blog post in Word for Her Campus.
Awesome.
And, yeah.
You know why I love that? Because now we've done PowerPoint, Excel, OneNote, and Word right here on the stage during this Surface presentation. How awesome is that? Hey, Steven.
But even cooler, I was taking some pictures before, so
okay.
I have an idea. Why don't you take these pictures and post them on the blog? Maybe I'll tweet a few of them too. And so why don't you show us how that would happen?
Sounds good.
So what she's doing is plugging in a digital camera through USB, and the pictures are just going to load and using all the built-in Photos app, and they're just right there. And that's just the power of the USB port, which I love the USB port because I love it. I charge my phone by it. Here's the thing that I did with the USB port. I was in the airport in China somehow yesterday or something. And,
About 24 hours ago.
and I wanted to print out my boarding pass, and the hotel room had a printer in it. I'd never seen the printer before. You know, there's like this stack of driver CDs next to it and all this other stuff. And I said, well, I'll just pop in my USB cable, and there I was, just printing my boarding pass. Because, like I said earlier, you know, 100% of the top-selling printers all work with USB. Over 420 million existing devices will just plug right into Surface. And so that is really tapping into the power of a USB port and the power of the overall Windows ecosystem.
I love that. And I also think it talks very well to the fact that we made some clear decisions on this product to bring it to life, to bring Windows to life. And USB is one of those core principles, Stephen.
Sure.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Cool.
So we're here now, right?
Cool.
So there you have it.
Yeah.
Pretty darn cool. So thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Like, what an awesome introduction.
Yeah,
you know?
thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks a lot.